Hello and welcome to more Bound by Flame with me, Oni Blackmage. So we just finished upgrading a lot of our gear, got a little bit more money, sold some old stuff, and ready to move on, picking up a lot of the pieces in this broken town called Valvanor. Mostly just running around now and exploring a lot of the shinies. What makes this game interesting to me is the fact that most of it is very scenic. Like this person over here, I can't talk to them, there's no banter when I get close to them. For some people I imagine that might break some sort of immersion effect, but I don't really mind so much. When I'm running through an RPG, and for me the immersive fact is what my character's role and involvement in the world is. The fact that a random person on the street doesn't talk to me is pretty immersive, because that's kind of how it is in real life too. People don't just randomly come up to you and engage you in world-defining conversation and politics. I know there are some people that would like to, but I really don't. Or at the very least, that doesn't happen to me. Especially when I'm walking around kicking open crates and stealing chests in broad daylight. The doors in this area are also clearly marked on the map. I kind of like that, actually. So that way if I'm trying to move from area to area, and I get lost pretty easily, just being able to see where I have to go. Pretty convenient, I like that. I don't read reviews on games before they come out because, unlike most people where sometimes they're going to wait, it's like, I want to wait until I see XYZ's person's remark on it, that's fine, that's like trusting a friend. What I don't like is when people only base their buying decisions on the opinions of other people. I like to think that perhaps you might want to encourage a little bit more independent thought of yourself. May I remind you that all reviews are just opinions. They're just perspectives. That's why you shouldn't really get too upset if you see a reviewer online completely trash a game that you like. If you like it, then that's it. There's no room for debate. You like it. Your review is, it's good. And your opinion of it is just as good as that other person's opinion of it. Just because it's on a website, just because they are on a video, just because they may have a bigger following than you, that doesn't matter because none of those people are playing the game. You are. Your opinion is the only one that matters when it comes to what you like. Don't forget that. Besides, most quote-unquote reviewers out there aren't very professional. So they don't know how to separate their personal biases and whimsies with an actual sort of empirical data. And by that I mean, what makes a reviewer professional versus somebody else's opinion, which is purely just subjective and emotional. You're always going to find those reviewers online who are like, oh, these graphics aren't cutting edge, 5 out of 10. The models are stiff and wooden, 3 out of 10. There's a lack of ambient music, breaks my immersion. You can't talk to every NPC, 6 out of 10. The blocking is too precise. I can't master parrying that quickly, 4 out of 10. It's like, if you're going to get people like that just absolutely trash something because they had a first impression that they're not willing to revise or rethink or rescind, then, yeah, you're probably not coming across a professional reviewer. Here's the deal. There's a very simple line on what differentiates a professional reviewer versus some amateur spouting off his opinion very loudly. And there are many quote-unquote big sites out there that just have people spouting off their opinions very loudly. Cough, Kotaku, cough. And the whole deal is professionals have standards. That's literally it. That is the limit right there. Professionals have standards. Here's how you can tell if the person you're talking to has standards. They have frames of reference upon which they're drawing their judgment and decision. They have past experience in this same sort of genre within magnitude. For example, this is not a AAA budget game. This did not have hundreds of people working on it. This did not have millions upon millions of dollars poured into it. If you're reviewing it with the same quality standards as every possible action RPG out there, you're kind of comparing apples to oranges. And I note that because you can't compare this game to a AAA budget game to an indie game just because they're all action RPGs. Now from a gameplay perspective, I could understand that's true because gameplay is gameplay. Whatever design choices they chose to make in the game should be held accountable for, but that's not the whole story. One number doesn't tell the whole story. One stat aspect doesn't change the whole frame of reference. You have to put things in a context. A professional understands that. They're not just going to take and put a blanket opinion on something just because this doesn't compare to their favorite RPG out there. Which, by the way, you can always tell amateurs constantly are referencing. It's like, oh, this game falls short of Skyrim like this. This game falls short of Final Fantasy VII like this. This game falls short of Dragon Age Origins like this. You can tell when they use examples like that to justify themselves that it's not a very professional assessment. You should probably use in-game examples of why a particular element does or does not work. And if you're adding a subjective element to it, maybe you should add, hey, in my opinion, blah blah blah. That's all you have to say, those magic words, in my opinion. Let's see. I'm trying to talk to Relmar right now because I want to see if I can get him to join my team and see if we can run with 3 people. I want to see if you can run with more than one person here.
Let's move on.
It doesn't look like you can. So I'm going to switch back over to Sybil because I like Sybil as a partner more than Relmar. I have a bias towards mages. I have no problem admitting that.
If you want.
So anyway, back to reviewers. Another thing is, does that person understand the scale with which they are reviewing? Every reviewer has different scales. Some people use a 5-point scale, some people use a 10-point scale, some people use letters, some people use symbols, some people just use gut instincts, some people use a fair scale in which the middle of the scale is average and it goes better or worse from there. If you want to see if that person is pretty professional, you need to check some of their past reviews and see where similar products or games fall and see what their frame of reference is. If they're being consistent with their criticisms, if they're just being out the, just all over the place. It seems like they just go with whimsy, or a lot of the reasons they're excited about the game don't really have much to do with what they're actually reviewing quantitatively for it. Maybe that sounds really boring, but at the same time, that's what it means to be professional. It means you have standards. It means you have accountability. It means there's some sort of measurable reason why your review and opinion is a lot better than just any random Joes out there. And by the way, there are a lot of random Joes out there with opinions on every single game. Walk into any game store, go on Twitter, go to any forum, you will find as many opinions and reviews on a game as there are people posting. That's all fine. Granted, the most important opinion and review, like I keep going back, is yours. So, it's fine. If any of you are slightly bored enough to want to hear my review of this game, I'm going to tell you right now, this is my personal standard when it comes to game. I don't review games I haven't finished. I'm only a few hours into this game. I'm nowhere near done. I haven't fully tapped into all the abilities this game has to offer. I haven't seen all the bosses and scenarios. I haven't seen all the characters. I'm nowhere near through the plot. How can I criticize or review any of that when all I have is a first impression? I can give you a first impression, and my first impression is positive. My frame of reference is I place this game in the same level of not AAA, but still open world out there sort of games such as Divinity, Dragon Knight Saga, Two Worlds 2, Arcania Gothic 4, Risen. It's very similar to those veins, and I get the feeling if you like those type of games, you understand what comes with that territory, the type of different model of thinking that comes with that, and you are most likely going to be more adapted to this game. By the way, I like what they're doing right here. See, you need to be able to give things credit where it's due. I like the duality that's going on right now between the difference in shifted camera angles when he's talking, Vulcan, versus the demon. You notice how the demon, his eyes flare up, but when it goes back to Vulcan, his eyes go back to normal? And also the camera shifts. You notice that.
Stop this nonsense immediately.
It is not he who speaks.
All the fall to ruin about you. Yet you still bewail your loose bowels and vomitings. You cannot.
By the way, I'm not having many problems. I don't, like I say, read other people's reviews before I'm done with it, but I am on Twitter quite a lot, so I can't help but read some people's first impressions of games as they go through it. And I have to say, some of the people's first impressions I'm noticing aren't that positive of this game, or at least not as positive as I'm giving it. I'm giving this thing thumbs up so far unless proven otherwise. That's kind of my mentality on things. I think a game deserves a fair and enjoyable ride all the way through unless proven otherwise. If the game starts off as good to me, like I bought this game, I feel justified in my purchase. I'm gonna play this with an open mind, and I'm gonna have fun with it. It's a game, I should have fun with it. And then as the game goes on, I'm gonna take points off or add if I see elements that make me want to take points off or add. And as I've stated multiple times, I don't take points off if the graphics are not cutting edge, so long as they are functional. And the graphics in this game are very functional. I prefer aesthetics over raw graphical power. So if this thing doesn't have like super HD 1080p whatever, 60 frames per second, I don't care. I really don't care. I'm more attuned to the fact that, hey, look, this helmet has, you know, unique designs and art styles on it. I like the texturing that they put on on the plate armor and stuff like that. I'm perfectly fine with all this. Because let me tell you, I've played quote-unquote big-budget games that have done worse jobs with the same problems. And again, that's something I bring back to the review consistency. You need to make sure the stuff they're criticizing on here is the same stuff they criticize elsewhere where it is legitimately present. For example, I saw one person make fun of, like, I don't like how wooden and stiff the people in this place talk to you during the cutscenes. I'm like, I'm not going to deny that, but at the same time, it's better than Skyrim. Flat out better than Skyrim. Skyrim has cardboard cutouts blankly staring and emotionlessly looking at you while you talk, and they did that in Oblivion and all that sort of stuff. They are the exact same way. At least people's eyebrows here move. My gosh. Oh, but you can't tell that to some people. It hurts their pride. They attach their self-worth to their opinion of a game sometime. That's why people just need to relax. Have fun with it. If you don't like the game, don't worry. Stop playing it. Nobody's forcing you. I'm having fun so far, so I'm going to continue this adventure. So far I'm kind of talking while at the same time paying attention to what's going on in the story. So apparently there's definitely an entity inside you. He's calling it a demon. The demon's saying that he's not a demon. You know, Aeolus over there is saying, hey, we need to get that thing out of you. It's going to be slowly consuming you. So, you know, I don't know. I don't necessarily trust Aeolus because he's kind of the one who summoned it. So why would you summon something that you immediately don't want anything to do with? That kind of strikes me as weird. First of all, it's weird that I walk into the invocation chamber and the first thing they're doing is summoning this crazy demon-like entity. And because it happened to disturb their ritual is the reason I got possessed by it. And not say one of them. I get the feeling he's jealous of my power and he wants it for himself. Because he's the one conducting it. He's the big wig. And he's the one who keeps telling me, you need to get out of your body, you need to get out of your body. And I'm thinking, I don't know, man. You were the one bringing it into this world, and all of a sudden you say you don't want it anymore? That kind of suggests to me that you wanted this, and you're upset that I have it. I think we're going to have to come to blows later. And also, the fact that he wanted to pull me aside and say that, and didn't want to say it in front of the steward here or my captain, very suspicious. By the way, a logical plotline flow, I give points for that, as long as a game continues to do so. There's so many books, especially movies, especially games, that have such a nonsensical story flow. Logic does not work here. Alright, got some work for me? Give me some side quests. I need to level myself up. I need to stop having my butt handed to me by spiders. So apparently I need to watch out for this werebeast running around. Alright, so the medic in this town is overwhelmed and I need to find her supplies. This dude's the de facto leader, steward.
Well, hell. Glad we got there. What can you tell me?
Alright, mostly everybody's dirt poor and terrible. The guardsmen are all drunk and lazy and terrible and out of shape. Let's see.
The war with the Ice Lords. I have tried to... We are reaching the
I don't know, I don't really find the streets too crowded, honestly. He's saying that we have no room here. I didn't really see that many people on the streets, unless they're all dead.
If you say so. As time has gone by, when it opened its doors a year ago, the sense of relief was palpable. Thanks to them. But as the war dragged on, 6 months ago, our worst nightmares were fulfilled.
I'm kind of going through some of this stuff slower because I think it might be useful to my side quest helping the medic.
Blacksmith. DM.
With none more qualified. I suppose I should warn you, he's quite a tricky character. Before the war, he was...
Okay, no wonder that blacksmith is so finicky.
The captain wants me to help you.
With our shortages of food and...
Okay, so yeah. Help the healing house.
Maybe I'll surprise.
Your centuries of losers.
So what's the problem?
Quite simply, Mirana cannot keep up. She spends every waking minute...
What if I help Marana if the knight dude who talks in third person will help me join my party?
I believe they wish to continue handing out our food.
Although it seems as the type where I can only carry one partner into combat, it seems a shame that this isn't an opportunity for co-op then, because if I can only have one other partner character, then it seems a shame I can't bring in a buddy and let them control my other partner character. Even if it's just an NPC, it's still better than nothing. I understand, maybe it just wasn't in the budget.
First, I thought, if you're stupid and
Again, maybe if this does really well and warrants a sequel, and I hope it does, then by all means.
kidding me?
By the way, the character models in here are a lot better than the character models in some of the previous Spiders games. It's funny, Spiders people I notice put attention to detail where it counts, and everything else is just ignored, which is funny because sometimes you'll come across some character models where they blatantly didn't care, and they are just flat out hit with an ugly stick. Ugly modeling. Ugly. Meanwhile, they're standing and talking next to this very detailed, very nice looking main character, like me. You know? It's just, wow, I can really tell where they put the detail here. Now again, I understand, you're going to be focused more on the hero than this random NPC, but at the same time, that difference, that gap of effort is very apparent there.
I fear I am unable. All I know...
But I can forgive that. I give a little bit more leniency to that sort of stuff because that does not impede my gameplay, that does not impede the story, that does not prevent my immersion factor in the world. It's fine.
We'll talk again later.
I haven't come across any game-breaking glitches, so again, still better than Skyrim from a technical stability point of view. Let's see, Ranval. He's a third person sort of talking. I don't know what kind of accent he has. I don't want to be racist and call him Russian, but it is definitely that heavy
I won't be long.
Asian-like Eurasian accent. He challenges me to a duel to prove my might. I am gonna rise to the challenge. Alright, Ranval, time for some PvP. Which, personally, I'm not really a fan of, but at least in this one, you're always ready for combat. Alright, so he's also a two-hander like me. Oh my gosh, his kick is tremendous. Oh, ouch. Your recovery in this game is a little bit slow. It allows the enemy to basically run up and slash you while you're still getting up. That kick, though, that's a heavy kick. I need to watch out for that. And he takes hits a lot better than I do. Yes! Managed to parry. Counterattack, counterattack. Alright. As long as I can counterattack and maybe get away from... Apparently you can counterattack his guard break, which I found interesting. Alright, I think I can keep this up. Ouch. Didn't guard well there. Ouch. Oh! That heavy boot of his is built for stomping. Okay, we're gonna have to reevaluate this. Okay, so we're gonna switch to dual blades, because I want to beat him in a match of speed, since he clearly beats me in strength. The one thing that I notice a lot of people very much favor in this game is they don't like the warrior style, they like the ranger style. I think it's because the ranger can block, counter, and dodge. That backwards little leap there is a nice little dodge. Which granted, I can see it's really helpful. But I don't know, I like to go with heavy and deliberate hits versus multiple quick and heavy ones. I do not need to back myself into a corner. This is not good. I'm in a corner. Okay. Yeah, okay, good. I can counter his guard blocks with a dodge, which is what I'm going to do. Sting like a butterfly. Hit like a harder butterfly. Ouch. I need some better armor though, seriously. Though he apparently is walking around with some pretty basic armor, beating me up pretty well. Whew. Just dodge. That, again, I compliment this game very highly on this. If you are blocking or dodging, that interrupts your previous action and allows you to dodge and block on command. That it 100% gets a solid +1 point in my book, and is a gameplay note other games need to pay attention to. I'm sick and tired of being stun locked or getting killed while healing, which granted almost happened and probably will continue to happen. I probably should just hotkey healing, because you can heal while moving and running here. Yes!
The knight has never before battled an adversary with such power. But he believes that he could be that which is needed to change the course of this war.
You fight pretty good yourself.
Yeah, where did you learn your moves? Where the heck are you?
Where did you learn your moves? Can't believe you learned to fight like that in this backwater.
The knight has
So it seems like we're coming across different classes and companions so far that seem to represent the different sort of characters. He's obviously the two-hander focus.
What are you doing?
Relmar is your archer type, which actually I find interesting because other than my crossbow, I haven't seen any bows or anything like that. I don't know if there is an archer. I didn't see one on the skill tree.
I have to go.
And of course,
Test each other's metal.
same thing for Sybil. She shoots lightning and has healing, but I haven't seen that for myself. All I have is pyromancy. But then again, she is one of those red scribes, so maybe it's just unique to them.
He has thought long on.
Well, that's great. I'll have
Alright, so my suggestion when fighting the big dude over there, you definitely want to switch over to Ranger stance. At least he gave me a sword, which is nice. It's actually a lot better than anything else I was doing. Randval. I don't know why, that's a hard name for me to remember, Randval. You got Relmar and Randval. Randval just doesn't flow off the tongue very well. It doesn't sound as hard as a guy like that looks. I'm making sure to save frequently. Combine ingredients. That's cool, I should probably do that. By the way, some of the tainted ingredients are very, very high resale value, but they're also very uncommon, so most likely they're just good for upgrading your other gear. And yeah, I know I'm going around with basic armor and weapons, and I haven't upgraded either. That's probably one of the main reasons why I am struggling some of these fights and getting beaten up as much, because I can practically double and triple my defense if I just upgrade what I'm doing right now. But the problem is, this is basic gear, and I don't have... I want to wait until I get the crafting feats that let me save on the amount of stuff that I put towards crafting. I want to do that first, and then start really going heavy into crafting, so that way a lot of the more expensive stuff doesn't get wasted.
Stubborn?
Please find him. He's a good boy. He's done nothing but help others since.
Alright, so her apprentice and assistant is lost in that swamp. I might as well just go ahead and start going through a lot of these side quests, doing in town, taking it in waves, then going to the swamp, getting everything done out of the way, then coming back to town, turning it in, and collecting more. We're gonna do this organized. Efficiency, not running back and forth.
Potions, chow, and one assistant. If I come across any other...
That would be lovely.
I'd like to see what you have to say.
Let's see. Wow, Tainted Blood's really inexpensive. I think I saw elsewhere that a health potion costs 150 gold, which is crazy, because you only need, if you don't have a feat, it takes about 12 to craft one, which immediately is less than half the price of actually buying one. So you would never want to buy a health potion here. Always craft. Craft, craft, craft.
The wounded man was found west of the swamps. crawling towards
A lot of the feats that I'm taking right now are very much in support of long-term stuff. Like I have the plus experience because I want to level up faster. That's the first thing I did. Then I did, I'm lowering my magic cost because I plan on using my pyromancy a lot more. I have put nothing yet into warrior or ranger.
will be more generous with
After I start peaking pyromancy, I'm going to dip more into warrior because actually they do have some health recovery ones that I think I probably should use. And also they have the two-handed weapon damage bonus. And I plan on going two-handed as much as I can. I'll revert to ranger as a last resort. But I like being the type of magic knight where I have a heavy blade in one hand and I'm fire in my other hand and I'm just, you know, dominating. So I need to find food as well. Somewhere in town.
2 seconds, please. The steward sent me here to help you.
You know, I kind of like the dialogue. It's very frank. It's very blunt.
Get to the point.
And you know what? It's refreshing because you don't see that type of talk in other type of big budget games. Like, it seems that when you are a below the radar game, you can get away with a little bit more. A little more crass language, a little bit more crass conversation. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. It's one of the benefits being below the radar.
Mercenaries dream of. All right, I'll see what I can do.
Right. We may be living in the arse, and while you're at it, when you've been...
What do you mean?
Kick their arses so they can't sit down and get drunk instead of patrolling, and show them a couple of...
Your men can't afford.
Alright, so I have to beat up their men to train them.
It's time to
I'm
teach
okay
them
with
how to
that.
use those.
Knock yourself out, Payblade. I'll go and shake them awake.
The sun's rising. Oh wait, I just realized I'm by myself. That's fine, I should be able to take these guys, I think. But I really want to, ouch. Okay, that's not good. I'm letting their archers take fire on me. Good. Let me try to pull these guys away. Darn, come on guys. That's the problem with the flame orb, by the way. It's kind of like a shotgun. It has a cone-like spray. So it's really most effective when you're right there. See, just like that, when you're right there point-blank range, just shoot it and all the orbs are just going to hit him at once. It's surprisingly not a very effective long-range spell. None of them really are. Alright, took care of that guy the same way. I can probably take this by myself, although next time I want to bring in Sybil. Because I didn't realize it was going to be this way at all. Wow, even one of those fireballs did a good job. You get closer. Crossing your blades like that also blocks their arrows, by the way. By the way, it's kind of cool, and also a trap, the fact that you can pause combat and craft on the go. I need to be very careful, because I'm pretty out of potions. Ouch. That one didn't down him, so he's tougher than the other guys. Yeesh, these guys may be lazy drunkards, but they can take a beating. They can take a beating better than I can. There we go. Something against fire.
Perfect.
Of course you couldn't do better. Can't shoot fire.
Gonna leave a few marks this time. Have you got time to go again?
Warmed up, huh?
They're still warmed up.
I'll let them recover a little. Can't
Yeah, and while they're recovering, I need to get some potions and Sybil on my side. Even up these odds. So I die against some recruits, that's going to be embarrassing. Also, one thing I like, you can run forever. And you run pretty fast, too. I like that. Starting to get used to Valvanor. I think I'm starting to find my way around. Okay, come on. Let's see. Sybil should be over here. Let's see, did you offer...
Greetings, mercenary.
Can I have a...
Actually, no. Health potions cost 40. That's actually cheaper than making them yourself. Huh, how about that? Anyway, Sybil, need your help.
Sybil,
Yes?
I need your...
Alright, come on, girl. Let's go. Some of the brightness in this area, though, I think, what is it, the bloom? It's kind of high. I'm the criticizer of lighting now and stuff like that, so stuff like that doesn't really bother me. I know there's some people that have a much more in-depth and expert knowledge of lighting and shadows and modeling and texture and art and things like that, so they are way more highly critical than I would be. And to that I say, a little bit of ignorance is bliss. I'm not worried about that stuff, so I can just focus, sit back, and enjoy the combat, enjoy the story, enjoy me playing the game. Man, there are a lot of side quests that I left unfinished. Brother in danger. I did let Peel die. My mistake. Okay, so... I do like how they mark the quests on this map. If it's a little page and a 2 on it, it means it's a side quest related main point. And if it's a 1, it means it's a main quest. I kind of like that.
Get that forge cooking. You've got work to do. I don't want to see so much as a dent in the guard's
Yes, I need to talk to this guy. Blah, blah, blah. Come on. Build weapons for the guards. They suck.
I'm not really a blacksmith. If you want...
I'm going to go with the guilt card.
You say you're a gifted artist, and yet you're incapable?
No, I didn't say that. The weapons that I was simply clarifying.
Oh, this guy's a whiner.
Blacksmith,
So what is it?
everything you can possibly bring me. Metal, leather.
Man, he puts the ass in a sail, alright. My gosh. The stuff he makes isn't even that good. When it says find a smith, but then it directly calls out a sale as a smith, I wonder, is there more than one smith here? Alright, so collect 5 pieces of refined metal. That's the only thing I'm missing for this guy. This artiste. And as you can see in here, there is... Let's see. Alright, well, you're just going to be rude. There's quest markers over here for number 2, which means there's some sort of side quest related stuff down there. Let's make sure there's nothing over here. Who's the person I'm supposed to talk to over here? It's a little confusing sometimes when it's 3-dimensional like this. I'm just gonna go down here. Okay, so I'm supposed to break these. Oh, by the rations it means take out of the food stuff. So basically we're stealing from the inn to pay for the medic center. Okay, that's fine. Well, I'm going to pause here, and we will pick it up next time with more Bound by Flame. Thanks again for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe for some more videos next time, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.